All right, hello, everybody. Welcome in to the time travel edition of TKO tournaments. That's right, we are replaying the 2021 TKO tournament finals between myself and the person joining me in the booth today, K3. Hello, K3.
How's it going, everyone? Thank you all for hopping on to do the replay. It's exciting to relive this. So yeah, should be fun.
Yes, we're wasting no time with this one. We don't have to worry when we're gonna get started, all that stuff. So here we go. Excited to go. Quick audio check here.
Hopefully nothing crazy from Glass Joe. I'm trying to remember.
Well, I think this was the tournament where I was the only one that had problems.
Yeah, some feedback from chat says that your audio is a bit robotic. I hear it too on the call.
Yeah.
But nothing from Glass Joe. Both of us get the 42 flat, so pretty standard intro, thankfully. To Kaiser. Let's see if any of us get the Lucky Star or the Sauerkraut Star. I honestly can't remember, and both of us tried not to watch this so that we could have genuine reactions to all the misadventures that always happen in this game. It's like both of us get no Lucky Star, no Sauerkraut Star. Sauerkraut for both. Too early blaming the no sauerkrauts commentators first, even in replays.
Okay, quick test. Testing again. Sorry about this.
Still a little robotic as we
Yeah,
wasn't
still
winning.
bad. Oh, jeez.
Honda 1, where I think we both did the manip, but I can't remember if there's any difference in our strategy here. Yep, we did the left, right, right. 28 for Grunt, 27 for K3. No shenanigans from Honda 1, which seemed to be rare for me in this tournament. I seem to always get the business from Honda 1. Last year, it seems.
Yeah, I think Honda 1 was usually a roadblock in all of my practice, but thankfully it was good.
You sound great now for me, so that's good news. And a 45 and a 46, so I came out to an early lead. I'm sure you were sweating now with this 1 second, 1 second, less than a second.
I don't like to throw the word insurmountable lead around too often, but when I saw that...
It's funny, really the first section of Fight through Hippo is pretty much automatic if you do everything right, but in a race setting with no resets, every fight feels like just a little extra tense, you know? And Tyson just feels insurmountably tense. It's just, I don't know, for me personally at least, the nerves in a race setting are way higher than anything you're going on single segment ones normally.
I feel like this tournament was a lot better for me since I had the experience with a couple others, and as much as you can still go in, you know, you can practice an hour and a half beforehand, 4 hours, whatever it is. As soon as that first match starts, you don't freeze up, but you definitely are not cool, calm. It's not just you alone in that room anymore. You can feel that pressure, regardless of everything else. But I think the first game in this one was the same feeling for every other round. You know, it just, there's no way you can't feel the pressure. And I know that we kind of had our own little fake rivalry of sorts because we were tied for 3rd place after the last tournament. So this was nice that we had a chance to kind of go into this one and actually see who might come out on top. We were both playing really well at the time. Everything else, I mean, you can see your PB was, you know, amazing at the time.
Yeah, it's like, I think both those were probably peaked quite a bit on our runs and stuff like that. I'm trying to remember if both of us hit the Nippo on this. Looks like you were gonna hit it. Yes, he's got the second one. Yep. That's what you like to see. Very cool. I remember in the tournament as well, like Hippo Minippo is one of those kind of tricky strategies that's it's easy to lose it when your nerves are high. So it was one of those fights that I struggled with in a couple matches as well. See if Tiger has any shenanigans for us.
Hopefully we've solved the last of the audio feedback issue.
Okay, let us know, chat, if it sounds good. Oh, synchronized perfectly. Great job.
Don't worry, it'll all go off the rails after here, but for this one moment in time, we've got this.
Cool. And a pair of 48s. Close match so far.
I don't know what your mentality in going for a race was, but I always try not to over practice. I feel like if I play too much, then I just start falling apart in the late game, just almost a little too repetitive. So I think I only really did like about an hour beforehand with this one.
Oh, wow.
What's your plan when you go into?
No, I did the opposite, man. I practiced really hard, to be honest. And I think that, that contributed to some nerves too. It's like being able to play loose is super important in this game. And so having that flow state is kind of what I was going for. It's like if I get enough repetition, then I can let my hands take over. And the problem is, it's like without that ability to reset, things go slightly off the rails, and then your brain starts spinning. So I think people people learn difficult strats. I think I do the advanced strat here. I do, and it's not something that I would even suggest in a race. But there's the going for a hard strat versus a safe strat. But there's also what is the strat you're most comfortable with, for example. And I think that sort of plays into that as well.
Yeah, and I completely took the opposite approach when it came to one. I just thought if I can just do it the same every time, I didn't want to throw anything else. So that's why you'll see all of my fights, it's that same safety buffer that I throw in. It's completely automatic. Like, I don't even have to think about this fight. I'm not worried about, is he going to do rolling jabs? Is he not going to do rolling jabs? Just do the thing. Whatever time happens, happens.
Yeah.
It's, you got to go with what you're comfortable with too, but I also just practiced that for a while beforehand. And if you're, at this point you were doing a lot of good PB attempts and everything else, so if that's what you're comfortable with going with the advanced strat, I'd also recommend that if you're in the tournament too. There was no way I could not do misdirects on Bull 2. I mean, that's what I practiced as well. As much as I was doing safety, it's like I can't remember how to do the fight without doing them.
You gotta spam the misdirects. And that's in a tournament setting, it really is around consistency. Very unlikely you're gonna PB in a race setting, and so that's really not the goal. It's really about who makes the most costly mistakes. We'll see that play out in the tournament as well.
Yeah, and this isn't a game where a couple mistakes aren't
Speaking of which,
forgiven my God.
So I made some pretty terrible mistakes here on Honda 2, unfortunately, and it's going to cost me a lot of time. Gruntiatus went with a safer strategy, the 27. I was going for the 25, but messed up the very first punch. And so it's a very different run immediately now for both of us. Of course, you don't know that yet. We have to wait until we put our time in after the fight.
Yeah, it's something else. Just so fun to see the difference. But yeah, just that one time, it's like, okay, well, you know, if you would have got that backup punch, it would have been 11 seconds. You know, no big deal kind of thing. It would have just brought us close. But then, yeah. One small mistake at the wrong time in this game can cost a minute
or two in this case.
3 seconds. It's just, yeah, depending on when you miss certain punches. So that one, yeah, you hate to see it.
That's what makes the game fun. It's what makes it brutal for racing. Like for single segment reset, right? You're done. But now it's like, okay, can I make up a minute here? That's hard. It's doable, you know. If Gruntiatus goes second round to Tyson and I get a first round, you know, it's in the realm, but you're really hoping that you can chip this away for the rest of the match as a result of simple mistakes that you just can't reset and go back, you know? So that's what makes it now your nerves go way higher. It's interesting.
Yeah, on my end, like, I see that happen, and I'm not even like, okay, in the clear, just do, you know, don't do a certain strat, because my strategy's the same. It's like, just don't mess up. The whole time, that's all I'm thinking. It's like, I'm picking safer ways of doing things, just don't mess up. So that 64 seconds might seem like it's nice and comfortable, and it lets the pressure off, but if anything, it's like, can't let yourself feel too comfortable either when you're in the race, because this is the finals, and I'm also racing against you, so I know darn well that you've got just as good a chance as anybody else who could make it to the finals to just, you know, crush a really good Tyson. You know how to get the low times on the fights. Like, yep,
absolutely. And honestly, in these situations where you're this far behind, people who are watching may not realize that is I'm playing loose at this point, because like in my mind, okay, fine, I probably lost this one, that's fine, but it almost takes that monkey off your back, and you're like, okay, well, let's see how the rest of the fights play out. Unfortunately, I got some bad RNG on Soda there, so I fall further behind, but we'll see what Bull does.
Yeah, Soda is just something you can't even base your performance off of that, pretty much. The only thing you can think of is like, well, did I conserve hearts just in case he did something, or did I just go for it and try to get the lowest time to try and make it up? And in that case, there's not really a wrong answer to a strat.
And of course, you went for phase 1 Mr. X, because why not? You got 36.
Because that's the proper strat, Kate.
I played it safe with a 30, and my rationale here was like, oh, I know Grunt's going to spam a ton of Mr. X, so as long as I don't lose a lot, I can maybe make up some time here, was my rationale. I cannot honestly remember how that played out, but that's probably what I was thinking. And I did get some Mr. X there. And it did work out. I did go for him in phase 2. A little bit safer spot for Mr. X, in my opinion. Because you're saving more hearts, you can spam more later.
Oh, yeah.
I did not go for him in phase 3. I'm sure you will go for him in phase 3. You went for 1. It's a little cautious there, Grunt. I don't know. Just 1 for 1?
I snuck one in. I had nothing left to prove. You get one misdirect, you're always going to come out on top.
Yep. That's a really good Bull 2 split, 124. I would love to have one of those in a single segment run.
Oh, yeah.
127, also very solid time. Really clean run on your part up to this point, Grunt. Like, you have not made a single execution mistake. I did on Honda 2. I did some more advanced strats and got worse RNG on Soda. So,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I can't remember. Like I said, the whole game plan with this was just try to be just consistent. Which, before I
That's
used to
huge.
always try to go for just the fastest strat or something, which didn't always lead to consistency. So very different to see that. But the late game, I think it's the most volatile for anybody. I don't think it was favorable if memory serves. A3 and I also haven't really watched this back other than to just get our quick times. We scan to the end of the fight, so this is kind of fresh eyes for us as well. Kind of nice to watch this back and see just how this all played out.
Yeah, I'm surprised neither one of us went for late stars. I think where I was at a year ago, I really wasn't comfortable with the 8 late stars. But retrospect, a minute behind, could have gone for late stars. Because might as well dig yourself deeper or try to save something, 3 blocks on my side. Oh, you're getting a handful of blocks
Oh yeah,
too.
3 to the power of 3 over there.
Don too loves to block when you really want to save time.
Yeah, and I do remember now that I purposely took that out of, even if I was behind, I didn't care. I was not going for late star strats.
He said no matter what.
That was just another just safety buffer. Just take about the 140 to 148 kind of times that you're probably going to get, and just that was my plan. I was just, don't try to put yourself in jeopardy, because if I mess up anything and I'm going for late stars, then it could be a 2.5 minute time that could very easily pop up. So yeah, my whole game plan was just safety, consistency.
That's good. That's perfect. And I'm glad to see you hit select there. I was worried for a second. I saw you there without Doc's arm moving. I was like,
Stalled it out. Keeping chat and suspense on that one. He totally probably didn't almost forget to do that. Also, just like even visually seeing like how yours is the modded NES isn't.
Oh, yeah.
Just to see the crisp color versus the 80s look to it all of one.
If anybody wants to see a really quality NES stream, it's Jimbo, another Punch-Out runner. He is a modded NES that just looks fantastic. I think Zallard recently has gotten into a lot of that. He's got an RGB modded NES now. 117s for both of us. Exact same luck so far on that fight. I'm loving how synchronized everything had been so far.
Yeah, considering we just went off of the spreadsheet, like for the most part, I guess we were maybe just trying to press start at the exact same time, which I guess when you have to learn the hippo manippo, pressing start at an identical time just comes naturally, right?
Yep. And a 153 for me. You got the longer delay, so chance that I could save a second or so here, depending on how the rest of this goes. I honestly can't remember what happens. I opt to take that damage because I had that 153, which allows me to not have to do the face punch on the DLX here. Saves about a half a second.
Ooh, and I missed one of my triple quick dodges there, so that's gonna cost me a little more time. Off of Sandy delays, but still 230. Alright, 218 is spicy.
Yeah, that's about as good as it gets with single segment strats in the 218s. I think 218.48 is my gold split, so we're like right up there.
That looks like I wasn't paying too close of attention on Dawn, but I remember a bunch of blocks, so that might have been the first execution mistake. Maybe on my side was missing that triple quick dodge there.
Yep. And I had the 2 on Honda too. And whittled it down, got it within a minute. So really, I'm hoping never to wish ill on someone. I'm hoping that you make a mistake on Macho or get tagged or something, because I still need help here. It's not lost from my perspective, but I really need you to make a mistake to, ideally you get punched. I hate to say it, Grunt. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, you have to wish for these things. 100% you hope that my controller disconnects or But yeah, I know in previous years there was a couple fights that I could not seem to get a handle on. I know versus 8-bit at one point, my controller just before the match was just totally useless, so my Sandman fights were horrible. But it did make for a really memorable moment when I got the 2 minutes and 59 seconds .99 to just finish in round 1. Yeah, I don't remember anything too crazy on Sandman or Macho being too haywire, but he doesn't seem to be my best friend in this fight. That's for sure.
Yeah, you got bad pattern, unfortunately. So I did have a better phase 1 at 28 versus 36, and I didn't get stars, so still had to do some less comfortable phase 2 strats there. But 56 is a really good time. 111, which is not ideal from an RNG perspective. You executed great, just RNG difference pulls that lead within less than a minute. So now it is in the, if I get a solid round 1 and you don't, it's possible to steal this one.
Yeah, it's so wild that even at like a lot of top skill levels and everything else, like the Tyson fight always seems to matter.
And round 1s are never free. Like I can sit down and bust out, a dozen round 1s in a row, but you just don't know when he's gonna do some shenanigans. You get tagged, or you miss a frame perfect punch, and you get the 8-second delay or something. It really doesn't take much to force you into round 2 on this fight. So even for top level runners. Unless you're Salt, I guess he probably hasn't seen round 2 in a long time.
But yeah, we'll have to see. All that being said, what kind of luck? Like for the most part, we're hitting all we need to. I missed a couple already on frame perfects on my side. Looks like you've whittled them down, and I'm getting the 8-second dance from them, so can't feel great about that. And then missing another one. Ooh, boy.
Yeah, so I got the 102. This is easy round 1 for me at this point. You have some work cut out on your side, and 116 is not free. You gotta hit some...
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say earlier, too. It's just, you can't really just let that minute feel like, okay, this is definitely my match. Oh. Still all kinds of things that need to be done.
So you're up at a 211. Still not easy for you. This could be a situation where I get it. 148 for me. Pretty easy round 1 from here on my side. You have to hit several hooks. 234 for me. You gonna close it out? If you close it out, you win the match, and you get it at a 255. GG, man. Almost went to round 2, but you clutched it out at the end, which is enough to take the first match.
Yeah, which, kind of got nervous all over again.
Driving that point home, like we ended that with a 24-second difference. I was a minute behind, and really just, you were 5 seconds from a round 2. So, like, it's what we always say, is like, it really is anybody's game till Tyson, unless you're like a minute and a half behind.
Yeah, that was what I think 72 seconds at one point was ahead, and then boom, down to 24, just the last little bit. I mean, one small mistake that I could see, and maybe not a great Tyson, but still, it still resulted in a 16:42.
16:42 is a great time. You see people's PBs a lot, and I always remind people of that. It's like, yeah, my PB, your PB is a 15:39 or a 15:20 something. It's like, you were really seeing them at the best when it comes to execution, consistency, RNG, stuff like that. When you're in a race, you're often not going to sniff times. I think on this tournament, up to this point, we hadn't seen a sub-16 in the whole tournament. So just kind of like contextualize that.
I think even in the first tournament that we had, there, even with all of the talent that was there, it was still very rare. Like, I mean, that was when Weejui, Zallard, MPAP, Salt, Lukendor, there were a bunch of really top tier runners that, you know, the peak of their game, but you still rarely saw that sub 16. It's very difficult to get.
Yeah, I think that's why it makes such a great benchmark time to like shoot for as you kind of work your way through the ranks of speedrunning this game. And I actually, like, one of the things I really love and encourage people who want to learn a game is this game rewards the time that you put into it with pretty consistent time saves, and then very incrementally addable strats. I'm not sure how to word that give you predictable time saves on top of that too. So like the grind to get to sub 20. And I remember you were telling me this when I was first starting out as a speedrunner. You were saying that like, oh, the grind to sub 20, it was such a fun grind, and in retrospect, it really, really was.
Oh yeah.
And then to get to sub 19, it came. You know, I had to learn a little bit more. I had to tighten up. And then same for 18, then 17. 17 to 16 and 16 to 15 was where, like, I think I started to get a little bit more serious about the game. But it really, you know, there's more, and you discover that the game gets deeper the more you try to find places to shave time.
Yeah, I always like to say... Today. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say there's stuff today that I still am not doing yet that I could be adding to the game still, that I'm still learning. To get more consistent at first.
Yeah, I always like to say that sub 20 grind, like, you really just need the beginner strats, but in order to get it, you just need a solid run. RNG isn't a big factor in it. Just do your part, and you know when you get that sub 20, you earned it. You did good, you got everything dialed in pretty well. You did your part, and then after that, I like to just kind of rank it as sub 20 is like the bronze medal, sub 17 is the silver, and sub 16 is the gold medal of running the game. So it's a good way of, and just if you want to take it that much further, you're going to have to learn a little more. But yeah, it's like I say, super rewarding. I'm really glad that I chose this as my first speedrun, honestly. And I like to use that as an example too. Like, I mean, I never speedran anything. I stumbled across Twitch out of the blue from a Legend of Zelda tournament that was going on, and it just caught my eye to try this game that kicked my butt as a kid. I never beat Tyson when I was younger or anything like that, and here we are, you know, you put some time in, and then you're having the time of your life, having a fun tournament amongst friends. Yeah, I mean, highly recommend the speedrun.
Absolutely. And Dave said that sub 15 is the sodium medal.
Yeah, whoever can get that can name it. I'm not even gonna tarnish the medal.
That's funny.
If anybody is whatever.
If anybody is looking to learn the game, like, there's so, like, if you join the community Discord, there's a bunch of links and tutorials. There's a wiki. Sinister One has a great video series, and so does Weejui. Community is extremely helpful to players learning the game. They'll answer your questions. There's some people in chat, like Dave P, Grunt, you did as well, 8-Bit as well, kind of really took me under their wing when I was learning this game. And you'll find that to be the case as well. Just, you know, hop on. You know, don't wait to submit your runs to the leaderboards. You know, if it's a 25-minute time, I think my first run was a 25 or 27-minute run.
That was probably closer to 30-minute times, yeah. Yeah, there's no bad time. Just it's a good time. Just get the reps in, and yeah, you're gonna. If you like the game casually, it only got better for me to learn the speedrun. Every fight mattered.
Yeah.
It wasn't just, oh crap, can I make it to Tyson? Then, oh, it's only Tyson's. Like, oh no, everything is fun as you play through it. So it only made one of my favorite games even better, you know.
And I don't know about for you, but for me, like, I've tried learning other games, but I would say that Punch-Out was unique to me in the sense that a lot of the strategies felt very doable, like relatively quickly from the amount of practice that I had to do. I think Salt once described the game as hard to learn, easy to master. It's like there's a lot of memorization and punches and stuff like that, but most of the early strats that you're learning, they're easy to reproduce. Not to imply this game is easy, it is not. Tyson is a hard as crap fight, but you can get a lot of reward early, a lot of satisfaction from learning the run, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think when the Big 20 was going on, when it had Mike Tyson's Punch-Out in it, it was really fun to see, you know, other top-tier runners just go into the Tyson fight, and they haven't really played it in a lot of years, and everything else, and they just thought, okay, well, it's just one match, sort of thing. And for some people, yeah, it was just one match. They put, like, 3 days into it, they could get that. But others who were excellent, like, had a lot, variety of different games, it somehow took them, you know, a good week and a half of just, okay, what do I need to do for this? It is fast reaction time, and the way that it's programmed just makes you want to flinch. I don't know how they did it. It still catches us. It catches everybody. You think you see some sort of pattern, your brain is just like, okay, he's definitely gonna throw, you dodge, he waits, and just you slide right back into an uppercut that downs you. So much fun.
It's a second match, or second game. And it looks like you got the lucky star, and we'll see if I did. I started slightly behind you. Probably because I was being really careful about my resets. Looks like I got the lucky star as well. Like, you really want to make sure that you still... What you guys don't see is there's a copy of Live Split that I'm running, and Grunt's running as well, that we're using to time the start of the fight for Honda 1 and Hippo. And so starting that fight exactly at that right time is crucial, because you can't go back if you miss the window.
Yeah, it's tough to really describe all of what the Hippo Manippo is, but basically, yeah, 2 minutes and 9 seconds right after hour on or hit reset. You want to start this fight here with Honda 1, and then at 5 minutes, you want to press start on King Hippo. And aside from not pressing certain buttons, don't press right and down, then you hope to give yourself a chance within an 8-frame window of playing the King Hippo mini-game, as I like to call it, because you still have to watch what frame you're punching him on and everything else.
And I got random blocks from Honda 1, as he did to me all freaking tournament. I'm sorry, I'm still salty about Honda 1, man. But it's okay. It's not a huge time loss, but it's irritating as hell.
I think Honda 1 is the fight that I always just kind of assumed it was kind of free, and then if I hadn't played it in a long time, I absolutely freeze. I get to a certain point like, oh, what do I do now? And then, yeah, he can throw in the random blocks, and then if you don't hit the first gut punches quite fast enough, you're not going to do enough damage to make the star punches count, and you got to adjust. And it seems like one of the early easier ones to do, but then, yeah, like, one thing goes wrong, and it goes from a 44 to a 54, you know?
Yep.
So
in that case, it's completely random. Like, he can do it, what's called a Skynet, where he throws an uppercut, and then you take damage, and you're really in a bad spot.
Yeah.
I got the lesser of the evil things that Honda 1 can do to ruin your run, where he just, those face punches that are supposed to knock him down at 27, 28, he just blocked them. And he can do that sometimes. There's, like, slight changes you can make about how long you hold button presses to make that less likely to happen, but you can't eliminate it entirely.
Alright. Thankfully, this one was a free fight for myself and looks the same for you, because that one never feels good when you miss an input on Dawn 1.
No, that's not a good feeling.
But that's kind of just like I was saying with Honda 1. It's like, it almost feels automatic when you're in practice. Because like you're going to do a lot of resets. You're going to be resetting before Hippo. So you see these fights a lot of times. So sometimes you don't really give it the attention it deserves. You're putting in a lot of attempts. And yeah, you just, for whatever reason, you mess up that input. You just got to laugh. Like, really? Dawn 1? I got to reset on?
Nothing feels automatic in a no reset race, dude. Everything, like, you're just thinking about it that much more. At least in my case.
Oh yeah,
It's,
100%.
Looks like you're gonna get the Minipo. Looks like you got third frame. Or no, I guess you're going with fourth. You read it right.
I'm not gonna lie, I probably just winged it.
No, you didn't get the last one. Let's see what happens
I
in
actually
mine.
only learned.
Oh,
That's
I
right.
missed the window. Oh,
This reminded me of this. I only learned the Minipo for this tournament. I still never did it, and it was known for a while.
oh yeah. This was the first tournament we allowed the Minipo. We used to like ban it and make you do right dodges to break the RNG.
Well, yeah, when
And I
the
missed-
tournament before, it was basically discovered like within a month of the tournament, something like that. It was right around tournament time when Lukendor and Zoxox discovered it. So to be fair, we didn't include it with the
But
tournament.
not everybody had the chance to grind it to be consistent at it.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense. We were kind of on the fence of it when we started this tournament. Right now, I would have been happy if you didn't have the Minipo because I just pulled a 130. I missed the 5-minute mark.
Yeah.
And that's a really bad feeling when you see he doesn't open his mouth right away there. You're just like, oh no, I am completely at the mercy of the gods here.
Yeah, what is
You're
it?
just-
The 3 in 8 chance he opens his mouth?
Yeah, 3 and 8 for each mouth opening. You need 3 of them.
Yeah,
So getting
those-
3
those
fast
aren't
ones
good
is not
odds.
likely. Yep. But it's okay. I'm only 42 behind. You know, there's still a chance. So at this point, it's the same situation, right? It's like it's very similar to last one, where I'm kind of loose again because, like, well, there's my mistake. There's usually going to be one a match. Then we just got to hope and see if you know, things turn around. Probably not going to turn around on Tiger though. This fight is completely automatic. Absolutely no RNG to that, despite some emotes saying otherwise.
Yeah, and it is important. I think that's another good way to just look at how you could make it far in a tournament for anything, because you can't let that one fight bother you. Because if that's
For sure.
always in your head, you're thinking about that, you're not thinking about the fight that you're in. And I mean, this game is such quick inputs at times that the best way that I ever learned how to get better at Tyson was to stop looking at the punches that I missed for frame perfects, because you're thinking, oh, was I early, was I late? And by the time you're saying the words was I, Tyson's already throwing another punch. So if
That's
you're
interesting you say
constantly,
that. That's
you know,
that's interesting. So you don't look.
that was the
you don't-
one thing that just made it click for me. It was like, just stay in the punch that you're on. You have to put that behind you. So it was nice to hear that you say that after that fight. It's like, look, you can only move forward at this point.
That's interesting though. I definitely look at the health bar after each punch just to make sure I'm counting and all that stuff. Looks like I got the lucky star again. So potentially a low time here. Got the misdirected gut.
And I'm always going for the 3 stars going into phase 3.
And I think you're in a better spot here from an RNG perspective. This isn't the best path. It's not terrible from mine, but I would have liked to have had 2 stars there. I got Big Phil. I'm actually kind of curious how these shake out. Oh, I got the long long jabs. That's good.
And yeah, before these you'll see I just do those 2 slow dodges, so no matter what he throws out, the fight is always going to be the same, you know? But you get better rewards. I think you already had like a 101 something in the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I
199
had
or something, so...
Yeah, I had really good RNG on the first one. That's the thing about the advanced bull 1 strat. For a race, it's almost a wash because they're pretty rare, but the upside of if you do get the luck is pretty insane. So it's like they're almost equivalent strats with just like crazy good upside on the advanced strat. And so there's some pretty crazy bad downside on the advanced bull 1 strat, but it's also incredibly rare that for a non-race setting, you can reset. For a race, it's actually probably better not to do it, but again, I think it was one of those situations, Grunt, where like, do you really want to go in and change out strats on what you've been running for the past year just to be safer on average by 0.5%? You know, better to stick with what you know.
Well, I think it comes up every tournament too, because people will say, "Well, I'm gonna switch to the early strat for Honda 1, because you can do the 3 left guts, and it's a different strat. It eliminates the possibility of, yeah, maybe you won't get tagged and this and that, but it's like, good luck trying to get your muscle memory to just forget what you've been doing, because you've forgotten that early strat completely.
Yep.
That's out of my memory, so when you try to relearn it for the tournament, I was like, you know what, I'd rather roll the dice, because I'm going to mess it up on race day trying to switch up what I know. So, yeah, I don't blame you at all for sticking with the advanced on Bull 1 at all.
Yep. But I went with Advanced on Honda 2. It's another example. It's a considerably harder strat, but I don't really know the 27 anymore. And it paid off in this case. I got a 42. And it looks like, I guess you had a slight execution error somewhere with a 54, so that gives me an inroad.
Spoilers, there'll be more of those on my side. I will
You
not
can't read ahead,
race
man.
a
You
flawless
can't read
race. Without saying anything, in case somebody hasn't seen this or you've forgotten, I'm gonna try not to say, who wins matches, or I will say that this race 2, was my favorite. That I remember rewatching a bunch, because there's some wild turns that come up here in the world circuit. So buckle up, everybody.
Soda won't do anything to make it interesting. I'm sure. Never throws hooks. So I got a 20. You got a 28. So it looks like I got the early, and then I guess you got a hook. And we both get the fast second upper.
You are just cruising through this one here, though.
Oh, yeah.
37 seconds is exactly where you want to be.
This is where I should go for a screwdriver. We'll see if I do it. No, I'm a coward. 53, though.
53.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. We take those. We take those. And a 111. So again, I just whittled it down a little bit more.
Yeah, and see, and this is a point where I was like, I was playing such safety that I was doing the 2 face punches in case of hooks, and you just went for it. You weren't conserving the hearts. You were making him block it and going for speed on it. And in that case, if I would have done what you did, I mean, I would have had probably a 130 something, because I would have lost all of my hearts. And if you did what I did, well, you would have lost probably 4 seconds because of extra time lost being safe, right? So sometimes the gambles really pay off. Sometimes they can be punishing. So that time, both of it worked out, but 2 completely different approaches to the same fight.
Exactly. But you took some risk here. You got that 35-second phase 1 versus my 38, so you got another phase 1
I took the guaranteed misdirect.
Guaranteed. It actually does feel more common to get that one. Also, the one in phase 3 feels like it's more common. They're 1 and 4 for people who don't know the misdirect. And what we're saying misdirected. These gut punches that sometimes go through, but usually get blocked. It's a 1 and 4 to go through. They're not guaranteed.
No, as much as everybody wished they would, because once it was discovered to spam them, it really opened up the potential from always getting around a minute and 28 from good execution, 129, to, wow, on a super rare chance I could get a 116, but, sometimes low 120s, mid 120s, so... And, yeah, we saw K3 in the last race get the 124, at the 127. These are a lot more normal times you would get if you weren't even going for misdirects, so...
Yeah.
It's been more proof that you should always go for them, and the worst that could ever happen is you just get an average time. You totally can't just bet on that fight. Never happens.
Yeah, it's really changed the dynamic of single segment, I imagine, because, especially at the faster times, you kind of have to start going for him, and you do kill a lot of runs just where he refuses to let those 1 and 4 go through. But it is what it is. Sometimes it's a mix of RNG and execution. It's just you have to take risks.
All right, now take a look on my side on this one. Miss and
Oh
then
my
3
god.
lucky
Oh
stars.
no. No. I did not know that happened, dude. Wow.
And then here it all falls apart because I was in such shock that even happened. It went from, oh crap, did I just, oh wait, what is that?
Dave
It's
P
like,
is in
what's
shambles
the
right now.
strat? Oh yeah, I remember immediately after this fight going into the chat and apologizing to Dave for what he had to watch happen there. Him to have to.
I think I make a mistake here. Yep, and I got Big Phil with a late star, which you can throw that other star and turn it into essentially a mid fill. But I buffered that too early, so there were all kinds of shenanigans. But not like yours, Grunt. So those, for people who don't know, those stars that popped up at the beginning are 1 in 16, and he got 3 of them right away. So that's the 1 in 256 opening that he got. He's still come out ahead. I would hope so, even with all those stars. You misexecuted, but
I mean, it floored me when that happened. I was like, what do you do in this? Just spam start for 2 of them, and then I didn't know because I practiced safe strats the whole time. 1 star likely, 2 stars very unlikely, 3 stars. You don't practice that before a tournament. There's no way you practice to get 3 lucky stars, right? So I was just completely out of my element at that point.
Yeah. So 23 seconds difference. This is actually a pretty close match. You know, at this point, you're really just hoping, okay, don't make mistakes. I can't focus on huge time saves for the next 2 fights. There's no different strat to take to try to shave off time here. It's really just try to keep it close into Tyson. And I got blocked there, I think.
Thankfully, that's one of those points in the final 4 fights where, yeah, you do get the block. You can't get the spiciest time, but you can still get pretty good. But even there, like, you miss, so you know the backup, doing the gut shot before the max damage. You'll probably still get like a 120 if I'm guessing, or 21 maybe for the knockdown.
121.
Yeah.
Which is enough. You really just need to be at that 121 or lower to get 2 cycles in before the DLX that comes after that. So should be okay. I won't get a spicy time here. You're looking good. You're really consistent on that fight. We'll see what kind of delay you get. Looks like you got a long delay. I got the shorter delay, so maybe it'll need to go back up.
Pretty much synced right up all over again. So just like that. That's why I mean that was not a punishing thing to happen in K3. You recovered very well. I did everything right, got great time, and then 1 slight delay. Here we are, identical again.
And I got the big fill, and you got the small fill, so you got the advantage. It's so funny to watch all the little things and how the RNG just cycles back and it ends up coming out to be a wash every time. It's so interesting.
I missed a quick dodge again. And I got caught staring for a split second, trying to remember what to do with that point, and then put him down.
And it's the exact same time for both of us.
Yeah.
That was actually a really interesting fight. I did not know that had happened. That is too funny.
So sometimes when you see people, they're like, "Oh, well, I mean, Punch-Out has no RNG. They play it blindfolded." That one fight, there's a great example of little things that can go weird, but it's got just enough to keep you on your toes.
So how nervous were you at this point? 23 seconds ahead, 1 matchup. Were you feeling pretty calm here?
Just for some reason, kind of like even when I used to golf, there's always one part of my game that's always off. I can never quite get everything to line up on game day, it seems. And Macho was my kryptonite. So I definitely was not feeling good. Tyson felt great. Everything else felt like it was really clicking. But for some reason, on this day, I just could not get Macho.
Man, we both had just terrible RNG from Macho. I had the fake out pattern, and we both had bad pattern, I think. Which, let's see what happens.
it looks like, we're doing what we can. But Macho's being the jerk this time.
Yeah.
I mean, even at that, like, if the fight goes, with a horrible time, but you did your part, then all you can really do is just kind of laugh it off. Like, well, at least it wasn't me. So yeah, 104 on that day probably felt like a 55. Like, yes, I didn't mess up the fight.
All right. So where are we at? Like 25, 26 seconds difference? 27, 26, 86. Going into Tyson. So again, we're in a situation where round one for one of us is guaranteed win if the other one doesn't.
So yeah, this is the, will someone get an 8-second delay? Will the other person make mistakes? It's all, when I'm this close looking over and I know I'm racing against K3, all I can think is, just don't make mistakes, and for the love of God, Tyson, just don't give me the 8 seconds.
Yeah, same.
That's it. Just, it doesn't have to be a flawless fight, just come out, do my part, and don't dance in front of me for 8 seconds, Tyson. So we'll have to see. But this one right here, K3 gets tagged, and then I get tagged. The Dawn 2 fight was wild, and then this one is also. I remember rewatching this one before.
I missed another frame perfect. So I've now missed 2 frame perfects and got tagged. Missed a 3rd frame perfect. So I am freaking out. And then I get the 8-second delay. So round 1 pretty much can't happen.
Oh, but don't worry. There's Tyson dancing for me as well. So I'm like, oh my God. So we're both probably just absolutely a bag of nerves at this point. 118 to 121 are not great times for getting a round 1.
Very difficult here. I probably
you
only
have to execute from this point out.
I only got 1 upper, and I have to hit a crap ton of hooks here. And
thankfully I got the 2 uppers, because it doesn't look like I'm hitting all of my hooks, but it looks like you're starting to dial them in a little bit more on your side.
Yeah, I ended up with a 216 and you with a 215. So really, either one of us can only miss 1 hook at this point to get around one. Yeah, everything else has to be frame perfect.
So there's mine, and then I missed the second right after, and then a block, because that's the thing, like what I was saying before, you don't want to overthink it, but when you know you messed it up,
and that's
all I could think of, and you came through.
Hit every single perfect
which is
three,
amazing.
Which is
like in a race,
hard.
I just GG's again on that one, because wow, because you had to and you did, and I could not clutch that out.
That was wild. I just remember at this point in time, this where actually my adrenaline in the whole race peaked at that point, because I was already down a game. I was like, if I didn't want to get swept for one in the finals, and I knew I could miss 1, and I was like, I just gotta try to hit a ball. I can't just be comfortable with that. I can miss 1. I managed to clutch it out that one time, but that just really destroyed my nerves though. I was shaking at this point.
See, that's funny that you're saying that did that to you, because for me, right now, I remember just being mad at myself for not being able to finish that off, because my Tyson fights felt so good that day, and I knew I could do that, and then I didn't, and that's why I didn't even wait for Mario to come out. I was like, it actually motivated me for the rest, because in my head going into it, I was like, if I can just get up 2 games, that was the game plan. So you just kind of lit the fire underneath me right there.
Yeah, I stole that one. That was a fun one.
No way, you got, with what happened in that Tyson fight, being so funny that it was like an identical fight for both of us.
Oh yeah, that was a wild fight.
You out-executed me on that one. That was not stealing at all. That was amazing.
That whole match was interesting because we went back and forth on Sandman. We had different luck on. We both missed the Manippo. I lost 30 seconds there, and then you know, we had all kinds of weird shenanigans on Dawn 2. It was a really
Dawn 2.
interesting match. And I think it just
Dawn 2 fight
really... I think this particular game was a really good example of what Punch-Out speedrunning is like from that perspective, because things are going to go weird, and, you know, big swings can happen at any fight in the game. So this was a really fun one.
Yeah, very true.
We're both like, we need to practice, Tyson.
Yeah, neither of us feeling confident after that one. First game, I set it down. I, dried off the sweat of my palms and just kind of, stretched a bit. This one, like, nope. I know my Tysons are better than that. And he's dancing for me again, even in practice. Not my friend this day so far. Hopefully that changes in the later matches. But yeah, tied up. Going around to the finals, like, oh. I was fired up. I remember that was one of those things, just like, nope. That's not happening again.
All I actually remember thinking, oh my god, Summoning Salt and Sinister One both just watched me get like punched on the second punch of Tyson. All those thoughts that you were saying, you just gotta handle one punch at a time and stay focused, like, all of that went to crap when I got punched.
Yeah, which, well, take this opportunity to thank Hefe Man, Summoning Salt, and Sinister One for doing the commentary on that day.
Yeah, they did a great job. I feel bad that... Hefe Man, not so
definitely
much.
one of my biggest
Twitch
regrets. Not saving the VOD. And I'm telling you, I know, watched it like at least 3 times. And when the VOD was gone, I was like, oh, you idiot, why didn't you save the VOD? But yeah, they did an amazing job that day. Always nice to have the best of the best looking over your run on that day.
Yeah. All 3 of those legends at this game.
Just a little bit of time in between. I kept all of the in-between fights, because exactly what we're talking about today is just how we felt in the day, in the moment, and afterwards, and yeah, felt it was necessary to keep all this in, and it's funny, yeah, the 2 of us just side by side, like, yeah, it's Tyson time. No, it was a lot of fun, though. I hadn't PB'd in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. It was over a year. I think it was almost like a year and 2 months or something.
Oh, man.
And I was pretty steady playing it, but the time I had was like a 1542. And then it was practicing for this tournament when I actually was trying to practice more safety. Just consistency. That's when I got my 1539.
And then you might PB again. Yeah,
I'll have you know, sir, that I misdirected plenty in my...
That's fair. It's funny you say that. I'm actually I'm actually at 11 months since I've PB'd, and I still have the PB that I had on this match. So it's I know the mental state you were at before you got that last PB.
Yeah, and I think I always went into it like, when you get the sub 20, it's like, okay, I'm enjoying this game. I think I'll push for the sub 17. Like, you'll know after the sub 20 grind if it's the game for you or not. And then, yeah, I was like, okay, well, I'm here. Just learn a couple more things, get the sub 16. And it's a really fun journey. Then all of a sudden, yeah, I mean, you know what your potential is. Like, everybody's sum of best is below the world record by the time you get a sub 16. You know that's highly unlikely you'll ever see it. But the fact is that, yeah, you're going to hit that wall. Like, oh, like in my mind, I'm like, I can get 15. I think that might be about as good as I can get. But
Yeah.
at 1520s, I feel like I could get that. And then it's a year and you're not getting it. It's like, oh wow, I guess maybe I did peak at this game. I don't know.
Man, yeah. Those thoughts come through often, man. When I started running this game, it was doing the same thing. I was like, I get the 20. 19 seems doable. 18 seems doable. I think I had told 8-bit one time. So yeah, once I get like 16.3x, I'll probably be done. But then I wasn't. And I think now like 15.1x is like a goal that I have, but it may that may never happen. You just don't know. The PBs do get rare. I remember when I was like starting off streaming this game, and you're like, enjoy it, K3, enjoy it while while they're coming, you know. And eventually they do get a lot more rare because you just keep raising the bar in yourself as you get better at the game. But that's what makes it fun, you know, is building that consistency and mastery of the game. So
Yeah, you had a really strong start to it, and I mean, obviously the journey isn't done. You had a stream not even all that long ago. How many Perfect Tysons did you just get recently in one stream?
I had 8 in about a 4-hour period.
Unbelievable. It's like a third of the amount of Perfect Tysons I've had in 4 years of playing the game, and you got that in one night.
It was kind of nuts. I'm just trying to see if I can bottle that up and let that happen again. I don't know if it was a fluke or not, but yeah, that's if you want to get really fast times at this game, getting your Tyson game really good is really, really important. You'll eventually get a run on a fast pace, but you really want to hope that your Tyson is there when you get there. And so that's been my focus. I feel like my single segment games probably suffered a little bit as a result, but that's kind of okay, right? Because like I know I can get that back, but you're always kind of like wondering, I was like, how much can I reasonably get to like an average Tyson time? It's a really important indicator of how far you can push the game.
Yeah, getting to be able to do around one Tyson, then, you know, your average Tyson time, you want it to, you know, 230s, 240s if you're really pushing for beats under sub 16. But all of a sudden, it's like, wow, even that's not good enough. Really push it that much lower, so I wish you the best, my friend, but not in race number 3.
No, sir.
No, we started race number 3 here, by the way, so this is the early game, you know, it's Glass Joe, it's Von Kaiser. Not too much can really go.
Lucky stars for both, though. That's exciting.
But now we are approaching, you said is your nemesis during, quite remember. I feel like most of it was pretty good, and then it was just World Circuit RNG, kind of, for me, with this tournament.
Yeah.
I can't quite remember, but I feel like Hippo Manippo was working out for the most part. Like
That's huge.
The last race it didn't, but yeah, just gotta see.
Let's see what maybe shenanigans happen this time. And I didn't get the damage I needed. I was too slow on the right gut. That was an actual execution mistake on my part. Those first guts that you have to throw at the beginning of phase 1, you got to be a little quick on them or you won't get the same amount of damage, which I didn't. So that's why I threw a 4th base punch. Probably not making a lot of sense, but slight execution mistake that's going to cost me a little bit of time. Grunt, you look like you're solid. You go with the gut opening for phase 3, but that gives you the 46.
Yeah.
54. A little bit of a lead for you.
But, as we've all seen, lead doesn't really matter till it's like the final 4 fights, and then even that can change right up until Tyson, so it's nice to have. Get me wrong, it's to be green on your side. Doesn't mean anything at the same time.
No.
So yeah, not much to see in the next fight either. I'm sure both of us. I don't remember you ribbing back and forth because we had a pretty healthy competitive side with this one. We wanted to do really well, but we were also, you know, very supportive of each other. There was no hoping that anybody was going to mess up or something like that. Came to race day, I wanted to see the best K3 show up. I think finally by the finals, I was really tuned in to some of the best I ever played the game. After, shortly coming off a PB and stuff like that, so.
Absolutely. That's something I really like about the Punch-Out community is, I think everybody by and large is really friendly with each other. There is a lot of ribbing, but everybody knows that it's all in good fun. No real, actual toxicity to speak of on the Twitch side of things. It looks like you got task tie on Don 1. That's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, a couple of world records to start off the run here, so.
We're watching our clock for that 5-minute mark. And I had previously missed the MTPO window, and I think you nailed it on both of the first 2 matches, didn't you, Grunt?
I hit the window, but I think I misjudged what frame I was supposed to punch on in the last one, so he didn't open the 3rd time.
So you nailed it, and on this one I missed a face punch and hit him in the gut due to a malpressed up button on the opening. So again, in a situation where you nailed the MTPO, great job. Oh no, you didn't. Yeah, you did.
Yep.
And then
I got it.
I not as bad as last time, 113 as opposed to the 130, but yeah, you got another 20 seconds, 33 seconds.
This seems to be the story of it so far, just getting bit of an early lead, but then, yeah. I always say the real race doesn't start until the World Circuit anyways, so.
Yep.
But, lying if I wasn't happy to see 40 seconds in my favor early on. You expect 4 or 5 seconds kind of swing.
You were just saying that you're not wishing someone to mess up, but you were happy. I know you were happy.
Of course I was. I put all the hard work to get there. I want a power outage, anything, just like that Simpsons episode, due to a congenital heart failure on the opponent's side. The winner of the match is Homer. No, but you always want to see a close race.
Oh, absolutely.
Just makes it more fun when you're there. It's okay, yeah, step it up. That's what makes me play better. It feels like it's at a 200-second lead, then I'll kind of just do shenanigans.
Yeah, but this race so far, you've been extremely clean. I'm trying to think back of all the mistakes you made. And there weren't many. There was obviously the Tyson last time wasn't great, but you had one misexecute, some Sandman, but you've been pretty clean the whole tournament.
Yeah, it was a couple missed quick dodges, which in the grand scheme of things, that's going to happen sometimes. And then it was more just panic on Dawn 2, not knowing what to do with 3 stars.
Yeah.
You put me in that situation any day, and I'm going to mess that fight up with stars. So that doesn't even matter.
But you got to try,
But yeah, that was the only thing I was hoping. Was I knew that there were certain fights that might be a little bit more susceptible for you gaining more time. And everything else, you had a chance to maybe gain, 6-10 seconds on Honda too, if you were nailing your strat and getting the good luck. My way of fighting Soda was pretty much 58 seconds is kind of what I was average hoping for a good time. I was gambling on Bull 2 as my one swing fight kind of thing, but other than that, I was probably going to get a 105, 108 on this fight, so I don't really know what I get here.
Yeah.
But seeing you get that 102 early was oh crap, yep. He's doing the things that ruin my day. But
very rarely though. That's the important side. But I think that sums up racing this game in a nutshell. Really is and I think what makes it such a great game for racing is that it rewards consistency. There's RNG, there's a ton of RNG in the game, but it seems to always come out in the wash in the end when it comes to racing. There's usually a key mistake an execution issue. Occasionally, Soda will just do what Soda does.
Yeah.
But by and large, and that's why we do best of 3, best of 5, for finals and things like that to make sure that that's all covered. But, similarly, I think it's great that we do group stages as a part of our tournament format as well, just to try to spread the RNG out as much as possible. But I think it's consistency is everything in this game. Whether you're running single segment or racing, it's really not about being fast. It's about minimizing the impact of the mistakes you make, or hopefully not making them.
Yeah, and up until, like I say, just before this entire tournament, that was something that I never felt I really had a grasp on. Just being able to stay consistent. I think just not worrying about how to do every fight the fastest, just sitting down, just do it the same way. The same thing, and then see what happens at the end. Just leaving it more into RNG's hands and just minimizing variability and just, yeah, it got me the PB before, and I tell you, I couldn't string together probably 3 fights that look this nice anywhere as close to that now, so it's kind of refreshing to see that it clicked on the right day so far.
Absolutely. This fight's pretty much a wash. I had a missed manual max damage uppercut. Is another example of where going for the harder strats can sometimes bite you a little bit. But overall, it only cost me about a second compared to your fight. I guess you had a missed punch as well if you got a 51, right? But
I'm not sure. I might have just not gotten the lucky star, and where you got to do the extra gut punch to get it, and then the dodge punch.
Okay,
it could have been that as well. I wasn't really sure
what the slowest time was with the 27. That makes sense. You went a little more aggressive this time on Soda.
Well, surely he couldn't do what he did last time to figured, I think. No. Gotta waste one heart.
I've already gotten 1 hook in. I'm at 27. And then I'm about to get hooked.
Oh, another hook.
Hooked.
And another one. Oh boy, Soda. Why do
you got hooks? You got hooks.
Oh,
you got hooked again? Hooked again?
Just unbelievable.
Oh,
it was looking just so fantastic, and then, yeah.
At least he's consistent, man. It's not like if you'd gotten a 51 and I gotten a 130, I would have been a little upset. But now that we're both in the 120s, it's like, okay.
Well, that's the thing, too, because when you're racing, you don't see the other person. I don't listen to the rebroadcast anything. It's put your times in, and it's a shared document, so basically see somebody's highlighted square. They're getting ready to put their time. It's like, oh, how bad is the damage going to be on this one, when you have a 121. I did not expect to see a 129 showing up on the other side. I thought I was losing the whole lead or something.
Do you do mind games where you're like waiting and not wanting to be the first one to put your time in?
Yo, I have no extra game.
I've raced against some people where like they'll have it filled out and they'll wait until I hit enter and then they'll hit enter at the same time.
No. I never. It wouldn't bother me. Somebody waits and.
It looks like you had a mis-execution at the beginning, so you're in a 52 phase 1. That's not ideal for you. I went careful on my side. And now I'm going for Mr. X and not getting anything and a non-retaliation.
And then an extra block.
And then another block. So I lost a bunch here. But probably still safely ahead compared to the luck you got on both too. So.
Now, I do remember in one fight, this might be the only time you'll ever see in a tournament, if it's this fight. Nope, I still went for a misdirect. Okay. Something I remember at one point, I thought that I didn't go for it. Because I was like, ooh, the heart situation or something. Thought that might have been it, but no.
You're
good job,
down there,
Pass Grunt. Good job.
It's a big time save on my part. We just closed the race up quite a bit on this one.
Yeah,
I can't
just
remember where
that's
we
the thing.
ended up.
Those first two punches are volatile. Like it just
Yeah.
takes like
Yeah.
12 seconds away from you, and then if he doesn't do like
Mm-hmm.
an ear rub thing, then
It can go
that can
south
also add
real
extra
quick.
time. Oh.
There are 3-frame windows on those first two gut punches on Bull too, so it feels a little. It feels big compared to a lot of other stuff in this game, but in a tournament, man, like 3 frames can feel terribly small sometimes. Look at that sync action though, it looks so good.
Oh, the sync.
Oh, it's so good.
It's funny to see you do the timing dodge, and I'm standing, but it's all still identical.
Yep.
The windows are the same, no matter how you get to them.
I can buffer anything that I can. If I can find a buffer for it, I like to use it. Because that's just, again, it's that consistency thing. I'm not trying to be at the front end of every window. I'm trying to be in the big fat middle of every window I can find. So it looks like you got the low fill and I got the mid fill. So pretty good opportunity for you to save some more time here.
But do I? Just one block out of that, so still 140s, all the same.
All evens out. Down 2 gonna block.
Yeah, classic Dawn. All right. Well, up to this point, I think I've had 230s for both of the fights there. So, but it was still just more. I did have the one missed quick dodge in each of the fight, but everything else seemed to be pretty good. So, hoping at this point it turns around or not. It's like I say, most everything I remember felt pretty good. It was just Macho was always looming over my head. That one just was not feeling good that day. We'll see how this fight is, if it's pretty even, or if you're going to gain more time, if I still make another mistake.
And 117s for each of us.
We're both getting quiet, like we're reliving the moment here or something.
I know, I'm like, so focused. Sorry.
Just, what's
Sorry,
gonna
Jeff.
happen?
I got the longer delay, I think. No, I got the shorter delay. I got the 153 again.
Oh yeah. Well, Sandy got up faster for me, but then he took his time when it hurt me the most. But still, that's not bad at phase 2 part, because he'll knock it down. 59.
Yeah. We both got the smaller fill, which is good.
Okay, short delay, and I hit all 3 triple quick, so this should be a 220 on my side.
And I got the long delay, so 222, 224.
Yeah, you shortened it, I think, to the 6-second delay. That should be a 224. Yep. 223, yeah. So yeah, K3 did a little bit of dancing there. He threw in a right input when he realized it wasn't the quickest set of uppercuts being thrown. And he could have lost 2 more seconds, but because he did that, it changed so that Sandman actually threw those uppercuts 2 seconds faster. You did your part to keep it as close as you could.
I was trying. Let's see what Macho does.
See, we're still hovering about that same time difference that happened at the King Hippo fight. So aside from just that one thing, like, we're basically even. That's the thing with the game. Like, yeah, one mistake, or if you're up to RNG, it can kind of take a bunch of time, but just showing that keeping the execution between the two of us has really kept it to the same race. Oh, and a
I
big
got-
swing and a miss for me. There's
no.
oh, and a gut shot. So I have just completely ruined
His
this
guard,
fight
yeah.
at that point.
His guard, yeah. For people that aren't following, depending on how you knock Macho down, it can really screw up that. And that's why he dodged that punch, because his guard was what they call in limbo. So I'm
Thankfully, I
coming out
had the
ahead
extra
here,
stars.
most likely.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you
go ahead.
gotta- No, I was saying, thankfully I had the extra stars so I could knock him down faster in that phase, but yeah, I mean, it's still 15 seconds much faster on your side.
Yeah, I whittled it back in, man. Like, that was kind of the story of this tournament, is fall behind early and then just chip, trying to stay relevant in the match.
And yeah, my mistake on Bull 2, and then mistake on Macho, and boom, we're right back to where we were with the last game, where it's that just don't not have a good Tyson.
I just need you to
Have
go to
a
round
good
2
Tyson
again, man.
show.
That would be so nice. That's what I was thinking. But I know,
Here
like,
we're both focusing our minds, but both also wishing for terrible, terrible things on the other person at the same time.
I wonder, do you get a third 8-second delay? Wonder what happens here.
I wouldn't be surprised. That something reminded me, just really feel like I had terrible Tyson luck, but I was feeling really good about my Tyson game that day, so if that's the case, it was needed on that day. But yeah, we'll have to see if I get it.
Let's see what
Time you
happens
get
here.
Ooh, a couple missed frame perfects to start on your side, but then now you're starting to dial them in.
And you got the
Commentator's
8
curse
second.
even on a replay. So good at those.
You got the 8-second, but you've been hitting your frame perfects. I missed 3 frame perfects, and you missed 3 as well, and you got the 8-second delay. So I'm in
There
a
you
much
go.
better spot. You're in a spot. You're in a little danger going to round 2 here. You got to clutch this one out.
Just never got to feel safe at one Tyson fight. Just had to be in the pocket
Yep.
the whole time, and then there's a block right before, so that's awesome. I think you just didn't throw on your side?
Yeah, I had a slow dodge when I was trying to buffer a quick, and so I misbuffered a dodge there, and so I didn't punch because I had to regroup there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, instead of maybe just getting
Yeah.
tagged or something weird
Or
happened,
getting
just
blocked, trying to
take
throw a
the
punch
dodge
late.
as a loss.
It's like-
Yeah. Good in-the-moment decision, I would say.
Would have rather not dropped an input, but
Yeah.
there you
And
go,
I'm
242. Woo, and
I
you
was missing a
clutched it
few
out.
at the end there, but yeah. Get
Lost
enough
by
of
less
them.
by 10 seconds. So that was a really, really close match there as well. So
So that was a case where, me getting the 8-second, and if you could have just hit a few more frame perfects, like not even many more, just hitting them earlier,
it's a close match. That
that
was a
could
good
have
one
been,
too.
11 seconds very easily could have went back your way there. But I mean, we are talking about frame perfects. Not like you missed something with a, why didn't you do this,
You wonder though,
got
like
the
that
nerves.
one that I had that slow dodge on, that's like 3 seconds there, right? Like of a missed hook. Or more, because I didn't get any damage on. That's probably close to 5 or 6 seconds just off that one dodge.
Mm.
So
Yeah, that's true.
it's interesting, man. It's like little tiny things in this game. But yeah, great match, man. That was great. We had the upset last time, kept it within 10. This was a lot of fun. Might have to rematch you. I don't know. We'll have to see. We got it.
Well, you'd want it to be today. I haven't played the game in months, so
Perfect.
we will not be following up with a live demonstration after this one, but
So stay tuned. We're gonna do a live rematch right after this match. In actuality, I do want to plug while we got everybody here and we're kind of in between. The 2022 spring TKO tournament has officially started. We've already had our first match, and at 2 hours from now, I guess 7 p.m. Eastern, we'll be having another one of our group phase matches where 8-Bit Gamer will be facing off against Darthling. So it'll be really cool to keep that going. So I think I believe Jader is doing restreaming and commentary on that one as well. So
yeah, I'm just looking over the times here.
I said spring. I said spring. You're right. It's fall, summer. It's summer 2022. What is this?
Oh, we've got yeah, for the most part, looking, it just really did seem to fall on the Honda 1 and Hippo for the most part. After that, it was pretty close, like a little time swing here, there, going back and forth, but
And the Hippo was due to a misexecution on a punch, so that's, I think, probably why I was doing that practice here, was just trying to be like, all right, I don't want that to happen again. And then I just did it again there. So that's a great feeling when you're trying to fix something, like an execution thing that you've never had happening, and it shows up in finals or a tournament. You're like, I just gotta fix this real quick. And then it happens again. It's like, oh god. But there we go, we're dialing it in.
and yeah, that's funny. Like, it had been out for about a year, Hippo Manippo, and I still never really did it. I think I was just willing to gamble and hopefully get, you know, the 37-second Hippo time, or just something without the Manippo where you lose that little bit of time doing that buffer that you just saw, the gut shot.
Mm-hmm.
Which again is me just, that was my style before the tournament. Just gamble for all of the time save. Just, if the perfect run was coming, I was hoping it was just going to be all or nothing. But yeah, just learning it beforehand. The Hippo Manippo isn't too bad to learn. Like, there's only a few different windows. You just got to really watch when your punch lands, and you're just looking for the flash of Hippo. Or if you don't see it, that kind of tells you what frame you've hit him on. So it's a fun little mini game, but it's certainly one that, yeah, it's a costly mistake if you're not perfectly in tune with where you hit that. So that looked like first frame to me.
Always hard to say with recording. So it's
Yeah.
very different what we're playing on CRT as well, and what we're seeing on our TV versus what's coming through on the capture card. But essentially, you're right. If you don't see a flash at all, that's first frame. You'll throw 2 right guts when that happens. And then that was a flash. I'll throw 1 right here. That's still through 2, so I guess I thought that was second frame, but it still worked out. So if it's second frame, he'll flash for 1 frame. If it's third frame, he'll flash for 2 frames. If it's fourth frame, he'll flash for 2 frames and off for 1 frame. And then doing that, you can do some math to figure out how many right guts you have to throw based off how many you had in the first cycle. It's actually, it sounds more complicated than it is. It's simple, but it takes a little bit of work to get comfortable with that you're hitting it the majority of times in runs. And then when you put it in a race setting, it's probably one of the higher stress, for me, it was one of the higher stress fights, because the cost of doing it wrong means you're completely at the mercy of RNG, and a ridiculous amount of RNG too.
Yeah, that's one where, you know, mentioned a couple times, you know, there are a few spots where if you miss an input or something, it might be able to work out depending on how the fight goes, like early mistakes on Sandman or something, but one mistake anywhere with Hippo is just guaranteed big chunk of time. So that's one where, yeah, you really hope you're on your game with it. Which I am glad that it was included with this tournament, because
it's another,
just that thing, it's like it is just another execute skill factor, and everybody has the same opportunity to learn the same thing, so it's like any other fight. It's a costly one.
It is, I think it's interesting. It probably is the least punch-out feeling. You described it as a mini game. I think that's a good description, because it probably feels the least like any other strat in the game. All the other strats are like, okay, I dodge this, I do this weird type of punch, like a reverse mech, all that kind of stuff, guard manipulation, whatever. And then Hippo is count the number of frames and, you know, start the fight at exactly 5 minutes, and it's weird. That's not a negative thing about it. It's actually, I had a lot of fun, like grinding it and learning it, and like that felt like Neo controlling the system, you know? Like when you're actually, you know, when you're actually landing it, you know, you're kind of pulling off an RNG manip, but it definitely feels different than a lot of other fights in the game from that perspective.
Well, up to this point, seeing I've had two 16-minute times and an 18-minute time. I haven't had any in the 17-minute range.
I think all of mine were in the 17s. I don't know. Is this a 2 of 5 chance?
It's a pretty spicy practice round for Tyson, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it was on state, so it's not legit, but yeah, it was pretty good. I probably buffer up right after this, because like, I'm hitting all those uppers. Hooks are a luxury in a race. Unless you're in game 2, then you have to hit them.
Yeah, and there's the potential that you got to be scared of.
Yeah, sub Turk.
Hopefully
Let's
from
go.
either one of us, we're thinking that. It's like, yeah, I mean, a 220 or under can happen. You want to just make sure getting like a 230 Tyson or something. Keep it middle of the road those 2-minute times and don't let a big swing happen. But at the end of the day, if Tyson does his 8-second dance, then that chance is gone. And
yeah, it looks like we're about to start our last one. And yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was going to say an 8-second delay doesn't just take 8 seconds. It steals a lot more time because it's lost opportunity for early damage. So it's just feels like a run killer, even in a race, you know. It's a reset for a lot of us in single segment, but it's a bad feeling when you're in a race and you see that happen too. Never feels good.
Absolutely. And this is, you know, at this point, it's a best of 5, or what is it? Best of 5.
Yeah, best of 5.
So the next, if Grunt wins this, then he wins the match. If I win, then it goes to game 5.
So what I wasn't doing to start the tournament was putting extra damage on Glass Joe, and then I had that one match against Jimbo where I missed.
Oh, you had that happen, that tournament?
I did, yeah. And,
cool.
So now you see me just doing damage, taking no chances in the finals potential.
Oh.
So I think that's been a tradition that's been going on every tournament so far. I think somebody has messed up on Glass Joe. We'll have to see if that's that
trend
thing
continues.
that always happens. Let's see if it happens again this year. Yeah, I think we got lucky stars maybe every match to start off with Kaiser too.
Yeah,
We've been having pretty solid luck for most of the fights here.
No lucky for me.
And
No
none
lucky
for me.
Commentator's curse again.
It's a gift.
Yeah, you are uncanny. We were working to see if we could comb through and find all the clips because Grunt commentated quite a few matches this tournament, and it seemed that he had an uncanny number of commentators' curses.
So if anybody has any tournaments for any game at all, you got something coming up, and you want me to commentate, hook me up.
Just commentate the other guy. Don't commentate me.
Yeah. Slide me a 20 under the table there, and I'll talk about their game for you. Yeah.
All right, Honda.
Yeah, of all the matches right now, it's like, Honda, you need to line up for K3.
Oh,
and that's big no.
Of course.
Well, Honda was consistent anyways.
Most consistent fighter in the game, man. Come on.
Yeah, it looks like so far I had no problems at all. And he was just nothing but troubles for you.
It happens.
And a block to even start this phase, so not the end of the world, but still a little extra time lost.
Yeah,
And even though your time was 54, you still ended up putting him down because he just stayed on the mat for the very long counts on my side, which is why running RTA in this game is poison.
Yep. There's a reason no one runs it. But yeah, this whole match, it was I never was able to get comfortable. Like, okay, I've got a lead, I just gotta hold on to it. I was behind every single one. Your minor major circuit, you were extremely consistent.
Yeah, I would say that was never a factor up until I decided to just change the way I played for the tournament. So
That's good.
if there was ever a time to do it, it was definitely tournament racing style. But that's why it's so fun. Like even a lot of different games, like the Ninja Gaiden races that were on not too long ago, and you just see certain strats that aren't worth it, and they'll talk like, yeah, it only really saves a third of a second, but all these tiny little things that could save this, that, and the other thing could also lose you 30 seconds. Or so tough when it comes to race day. What do you choose is worth it? What isn't worth it? But yeah, I absolutely love racing this game.
Absolutely.
Now let's see
I think
if you got the TAS.
Oh, I doubt it. Let's see.
Shame.
Shame. That's so funny. No, honestly, I think like that mentality going into racing of like just making sure you're enjoying it and having fun is a huge component to playing well too.
Yeah, and I know I felt way better going into this tournament than my first ever Punch-Out tournament. But let's see.
Oh, I did the same thing!
All the practice beforehand, K3. What was it for? Why did you even load the save states?
Oh my gosh. The same mistake.
But, looks like he's kind of... Yeah, he wasn't bad to you, though. Considering, I think he was a pretty good hip bro on that moment.
Yeah, that was a hip bro minute. We'll take
hip
man.
bro minute. Okay, so what does that do to you when that just happens? And where was your head at, dear?
My head was, thankfully I got Tiger next, so I can just focus on one punch at a time and I have to think about too much, because I gotta get my crap together. It's like, alright, just don't get blocked here. We don't need any Tiger RNG.
Yeah, by the looks of it, I misjudged a window on one Hippo Manippo, but I got the Manippo, I believe, on all four here so far.
Nice.
So, I mean, that's all hoping for at this point. Really consistency. On the path, just limit the mistakes. See what happens at the end. Just get to Tyson with a chance. You know?
Absolutely. Slightly tighter execution on your, Do you do the dodge buffer on Tiger, or do you just manually time that star punch?
Just manually time it. That was another thing that I considered before the tournament to change it, but I was like, that's just going to be one more thing where I'm going to be flip-flopping muscle memory or something. Where I was like, I'm not even going to learn it. Not even learning the buffer, even though I know I should. It's 100% something I should just implement and throw in. But it's just up to that point.
It is slower, but yeah, it's that consistency versus what you know versus like what's technically faster debate, right? And it's
I mean, at worst, what you lose like a half, a third of a second.
Yeah,
depending on where it is. Like it's 100% worth doing the buffer, but
I mean, you can do it in the task strat. So, but it's complicated as to why it's still slower. But yeah. Let's see what Bull does.
I mean,
is he gonna give me any love?
Looking at my notes there, and it looks like without the buffer, the first fight was 48-48, and then the last 3 fights here, I got 48 seconds flat.
Oh, nice.
So without the buffer, I was still like 1 frame off getting the fastest you can. So I feel pretty good about that. That looks like not needing to mix it up.
And you should come out ahead on this bull one. I had 43 and 1, and you had 45 and 3.
Oh yeah, I think that's what happened last time too.
But I might have to overfill. Yeah, we come out 2 seconds ahead. So advanced
Still
strats
hovering around that
doesn't really mean
105.
faster. Mm-hmm.
That was about the window that I expected all day with this, was like that 105 to 108 kind of time to expect, so.
That's great. All right, so 20 seconds behind going into Honda 2. I had made a mistake on the first match and the third match, I think, on this fight. I think I got a 42 in the second one. And I can't remember what happens on this one.
Oh, my mentality when doing single segment, it took a while to get there, but I always say it's not real until it's phase 3 Tyson. And I tried to carry the same sort of idea throughout the race, but the back of your head, you know the world circuit is when the race really starts. So this was kind of in a live setting and in a tournament where you know you have no control over when you start feeling the pressure and that. It's like, this is when it felt real. Like, this is when I had a chance to maybe take the tournament. It's the world circuit starting. It's focus time, you know.
Yeah. And you're gonna really 453 is a blazing fast pace.
I never even noticed that. Yeah, that is actually really good.
You're flying right now.
It's good, and got the lucky star on it, so setting up for potential really nice time here. Doesn't look like you're, yeah, you nailed yours, so perfect. Honestly,
It's great. The difference in time there is Grunt had low fill and I had big fill, so there was slightly faster strat on my time, slightly better RNG on Grunt's side. But all in all, comes out to be about a wash. And then there's Soda. Wonder what Soda's gonna do.
Oh yeah. I'm nervous just waiting to see what this one is, because he was not our friend for most. He was really good to you in one match, and then that seemed to be about where it ended for all of us so far. So, kind of interested to see where this one's gonna go in this matchup.
I had long delay. You had fast mid delay or fast for Soda.
Probably fast delay, slow execution. Okay, long delay. You got a hook.
Just one hook. But I was conserving stars at this point. Or hearts, conserving hearts there. So we'll lose a little bit more as well. And you're into phase 3.
Yeah, and I've got 6, so I'd be curious if I do the gut shot or a face punch. Still face punch, still just kept it same game plan.
And I get 2
I was
sets
not
of
ruling
hooks.
out a hook. Yeah,
2 sets of hooks down to my last heart. Oh, what a jerk. So
Yeah,
there's
you had to
27
take that
seconds.
extra time. Ooh. That's
That's not good.
tough to see. Because, yeah, you had to take that extra time on top of it because you couldn't just cancel out and get the star. So you had to wait for him to duck down, pause him, and all that stuff all over again.
So I'm needing a miracle at this point, and I know you're going to spam all the Mr. X here. Here's how aggressive I went on pool 2. I know you're going to be aggressive.
Yeah, there's no not going for. Oh, and I missed my first punch.
Oh no!
And I freeze looking at it. I can see.
You're like, what do I do?
Crap. Not like this. And I just realized I need another star. So slow phase 1. So this is a great opportunity for you to make back some of the time. yeah, when going in, just trying to be as consistent as possible, and then 2 fights in a row messing up on the early part of both. Oh, that's a heartbreaker.
Like, perfect runs don't exist, man.
Yeah, I could probably count on one hand how many runs I feel like I did my part, and they were probably still like the mid-16s. You know?
Yeah. The times you actually do get is when all the RNG shows up, right?
So there's one of the rare times in Phase 3 you'll see me open with the gut shot, because I was not going for more misdirects with only 4 hearts, because he could block. Just don't do it. Just, you've done your thing. It didn't work out. Take the time loss. Move on. So.
On to Don 2. No RNG on this fight.
I'm still thinking about the 3 stars versus yours on that other one.
Yep. In a race, you almost don't want to see it because it's just like, oh, great, now let's just add even more pressure. It's like, no one can fault me if I get a 45, no lucky stars. Like, you know, it's whatever. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, I'm going in fully expecting something like a 148. That's my mentality. Like, if he gives me a better pattern or lower fill to get like a 140, that's fine. I don't know what you're going for, if you would be going for late stars.
So,
you know,
45
so it's
and
always
1.
in my head that you could possibly just get like a 136 or, you know, something that could really open up another 10, 12 second lead, no problem.
Mid-fill. And I played it like Big Phil. That's a huge execution mistake there.
Oh, yeah, right. That little sliver.
Yep. And so, well, it's that little sliver, and his star counter isn't where it should be without doing the 3 face punches and the thing that you do on mid-fill. Because I get here, and, oh, where's my star? I don't have one.
Dodge, yeah.
So what would have been...
Oh, and he's like, not giving you the rapid punches at all, is he? Just
yeah. What would have been a
gets.
135 or something ends up being a 157. So that was my opportunity to close out 6 seconds. Instead, I lost quite a bit. Oh, you got the 141. Did you... Yeah, that's solid. Did you get midfield?
I was watching your side. I have no idea what I did on that one.
I screwed up, yeah. Let's say we both had one of those on Don too. Let's see if Sandman gives us the business again.
Yeah, going into this, my Sandman fight was doing good. And I know that the final 2 fights have not been going my way, so don't screw this one up. You got a good lead. Do what you've been doing, you know? The formula is working. So I hope. Pretty sure that Sandman was pretty decent all day. Been a couple mistakes, but I know I was dialed in at this point.
17s.
But yeah, it might not be the ideal soda, but still like a pretty fast pace.
Mm-hmm.
Like it did lose maybe, you know, 15 seconds could be faster. You can always argue it's not the fastest ever, but for a race like this feels pretty good to be about 10 minutes on Sandman.
Yeah, your pace is very quick. You had that really fast minor major, no major execution issues. You had some, except we had a little bit of time loss on pull 2, but yeah, this is a really good pace for you. Really for anybody.
Yeah, and like race scenario, this was one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, you want to be 10 minutes or so for Sandman, 12 minutes going into the next one.
Looks like I didn't get the 2-second minute, but...
Alright, still close though.
Yep, within a minute.
Coming up to my kryptonite.
8-Bit in chat reminding us of the 259.99 Sandman that you got in a tournament. Was it?
Oh, we already talked about that one, 8-Bit. Yeah, that was not my favorite Sandman, but my most memorable Sandman. Sure.
It was pretty awesome to pull it off in the last possible second, though.
Oh yeah, I just remember laughing. Just a sigh of relief laugh kind of thing came.
Oh my god.
And there's a nice block just to start off, so can't feel comfortable for the whole rest of this fight immediately, and it looks like you're doing your job just flawlessly over there, so... I just decided to make sure his guard was where it was supposed to be, so I just threw that star at the end.
That's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
Probably my best decision of the tournament. Right there for what it was. Things are not going right, just try to put it back to where it should be. Just finish it out.
This game is all about staying on the track, right? And so backup strats are all about how do I get back on that track.
Yeah, it's a big thing I try to tell anybody if they're just learning. It's like, you should just play the game, get familiar with what each fighter does, because it's going to go sideways. This game is not your friend. You need to know what to do when it goes wrong, so... Yeah, still 104 after all that. But as good as that probably could have turned out.
Not bad.
Denbo. That's
48
a nice
seconds
55,
in Tyson.
though. 55 is really nice time on that.
Yeah, not bad. Especially for getting early block there.
Here we go. 3-8 seconds so far.
Can we
Will I get another one in this fight, you know? Already had that round 2, which definitely still in the back of my head, but it was also like, that's not happening again. Put it away.
Man, I wish I had that
Feeling good about
soda
this.
back. If I had that soda back, this would be a really close match.
Yeah.
Alright, this is it.
Get some frame perfects, but let's see. Classic.
Of course he did.
Classic. I didn't get one fight without it.
And I got fast, so. But I missed 2. And you missed
Once
3
again, I
with
can't
an
feel good about my round 1, and yours is pretty solid there.
3.
Just need to keep it in round 1. Tournament is done.
Yep.
Hitting the hooks.
And you have a free round 1. We both have free here, so there's no need to hit hooks at this point. You would win.
But will past Grunt do the safe and not go for frame perfects? No.
Oh,
No, he will not. He goes for
Nice,
it at all
man.
times.
Excellent, dude. Oh, and you're nailing them too, man. Oh, commentator's curse.
Yeah, there, finally.
Only missed 1 though. Only missed 1, man. Solid. Very well done, man.
Like I said, my
For an
Tyson was
8-second
feeling good that
delay,
whole day.
Yeah. For the challenges you had early, that was a really good phase 3. And that's it. Gruntiatus takes game 4, which puts him over the top. So,
Yeah.
man, that was a fun tournament, man. That was a really good tournament.
Yeah, really nice to watch this back with you and just see like just how close we had, like rounds 2 and 3 especially. For how haywire it was, like we had the exact same Tyson shenanigans going on.
Absolutely. Very cool.
That's so much fun.
Definitely.
One day I'll have to get back into, fine punch-out form.
Yeah, I'm trying
one
to,
of
man.
these again.
My work-life balance is not the best lately, and so I have not been able to play as consistently as I like. But this is a lot of fun to be able to kind of go relive some moments from when I was like really deep in the grind. So a lot of fun. And thank you again, man. This is such a good match, and it was really enjoyed it. And yeah. And I guess for everybody in chat, just again a reminder that actually just about an hour from now at 7 o'clock, this year's TKO tournament is already underway, and 8-Bit Gamer X, who is in chat, will be facing off against Darthling, who's also in chat. So we will be back online in just about an hour to get started and continue on new matches. So
Yeah, look forward to that. And there's also, I know, a few people who are interested in picking up the game that have just got their carts and different things, have been talking to me. And for anybody, if you're interested in running this, community is great to help out. There's lots of tutorials. Just go over those, get into it. It is a lot of fun. And who knows, maybe you could be in next year's tournament yourself. So looking forward to seeing anybody and everybody who decides to join in. But for now, this was a lot of fun, K3.
yeah,
Super,
likewise,
super fun.
definitely.
All
Thanks,
right.
y'all.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. We will see you in a little bit. Have a good one.